Here's another one. And what I've done is, this is a prickly pear. It's right next to this Florida lilac, I guess is one of the names for it. You can see it's got everything around here has got spikes and spines on it. But anyway, what I did was I cut a frond, green one, and this kind of gives me a plate, something to work on. And I took the stem and I just shaved the point onto it. I've used just a green limb off of a scrub oak, you know, and done the same thing. But what I want to do to handle this thing is I'm going to stick it through the middle. So I use my knife, kind of hold it, see if this works. Yep. Shove it through. So now I've got some leverage on it. Bend it back, put my knife, and then cut it off. Now I got a pad. These things are not fun to work with, but what I want to do with it is to cut around the edges first. I hold it with I don't really want to touch it because it has little tiny spines on it, and those can really get into your skin, and they're not fun. So I want to cut on it one way, this way. See how I process it. And you have to be careful when you're walking around, because I mean these things, they can really do some damage to your legs. So you kind of have to keep an eye out when you're walking around, not to step on these things, because it's painful. But they are good to eat. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, but they're edible. Pricklypear Cactus. I've had them during the winter, and they taste is relative, but to the person. But anyway, let me turn this over and do the other side. Taste is relative to the person. I've had them during the winter, and they kind of, to me, they taste kind of like, I want to say, kind of like a sour watermelon during the winter, but during the spring, summer, they put out more juice, I guess, and they taste more like a sour apple. So, you know, what I want to get to is the inside of this thing. So I want to cut this away. And this time of year, they're going to be with spring coming on, they're going to taste like a sour, kind of like a sour apple. So, you know, and if you've ever eaten sour apples, you don't want to eat a whole lot in one sitting, because it can make yourself sick. So it's probably better to cook them. Then you don't have to. Then you don't have to worry about the sourness so much, because maybe you can get the sourness out of them. Let's see if I can get that off of there. They are a pain to work with. Ugh. And you can just see there's like pads, there's some pads that come off of these things, and they're laying on the ground, and if you step on one, they'll go right through your shoe. So you have to be really careful. And you can see the inside there, which of the pads what I'm after. See if I can maybe smear it a little bit on the edge here, so I can hold it on in. Not the easiest things to work with or process, that's for sure. Usually it doesn't give me this kind of trouble. I'll be using a little stick instead. So I want to cut the skin off if I can. See if I can get to it this way better. No. Usually the way I do it is this way. It's better to kind of stand it on and in. Usually. And it takes some time. So I just want to get some of this off. I don't want to get, so I can get a piece at least. off of it. And when the biting bugs are out, I heard one buzzing around. Trying to keep as much dirt off of it as I can. That's why I put the frond here. I want it to be a pain. Let me see if I can just grab the tip of it without getting the glochids on me. And they are slick too because of the juice. I wouldn't advise grabbing one like this. You can see it kind of looks sort of like has like the texture of a watermelon. Some people say a wet cucumber, but it doesn't taste like a wet cucumber. That's for dead sure. Not hardly. There's some of it. And that's edible. You can hold on to it. Well, and yeah, it tastes like a sour apple. But it's not bad. I wouldn't want to eat a whole lot raw at one time, but you could probably slice this thing up into slivers and stick it in, drop it in a pot of water and boil it up. Boil the slime off of it because that's why it's hard to hold on to it. But it's not bad. It's a Pricklypear Cactus. Oop, that's the edible one there. So yeah, usually I just slice the skin off and I'm left with the inner stuff, and it's edible. It's pretty good. So here's another one. It's more food. Thanks for watching.